Greeting fellow members of the Conscious Leaders Network. Terry Maxwell here. And I started the journey with you and unfortunately was not able to finish due to two deaths in my family. But I thought I would just provide a little context for how we integrate conscious capitalism in what we do. I lead an organization called ShiftCo, and we train conscious founders how to grow their business and maximize their impact. It's the love of my life. It's the thing that I wake up every day thinking about. And what a conscious founder is, it's very similar to conscious capitalism, as you'll see. We care about four things equally. First is the impact that we're making. We're on a mission to make a bigger impact in the world. Second is purposeful. What that means to me personally is that we're doing work that we were born to do, that not only does it matter, but we feel like it's part of, it's something that we can't not do. We also care about profitable growth. Similar to conscious capitalism, we believe that purpose and profit can coexist. The other unique thing about conscious founders is we're dedicated to lifelong learning. So we're on a personal evolution journey. And I like to say that I feel born to do this work, but my career prepared me to do this. I've had multiple business exits, including a NASDAQ IPO. And then in 2009, I sold a very successful business and decided to use my business growth skills to make a meaningful difference in the world. I created what is a purposeful Shark Tank, and it has a speculator fund. So we invest in things like zero waste skincare and zero waste makeup. I'm very, very passionate about that, the investment side of our business. And then we also have what we call the cultivator, and the cultivator creates companies that make the world better. And we now have with ShiftCo our fifth company that came out of the cultivator. So ShiftCo is a product of Share on Purpose that both invests and cultivates in purposeful ideas. So needless to say, I came across conscious capitalism very early in that journey. And a former client and a very good friend of mine, Carrie Freeman Parsons, introduced me to conscious capitalism. And I've been a fan of it ever since. And I believe that the sum of conscious capitalism is value, that it really is about the value provided. I believe that purpose exists to frame the value and the meaning provided. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. I believe that having a stakeholder focus results in an intense focus on value, value provided to my customers, value provided to my partners, values provided to my employees, value provided to the community. Third, I believe that culture results in focusing on adding value to stakeholders. I believe those things have to coexist, that the culture begins to be born around the value provided through the stakeholders that we serve. And then lastly, I believe that the role of leadership is to guide the organization in constantly maximizing the value to stakeholders so that we can fulfill our purpose. Now, I believe a few things differently about purpose, but I think they're important to the conversation about conscious business. Purpose is obviously the power of why. Why are you building your business? Why does it matter? But I believe purpose is a verb. I believe that purpose is about the action you're taking to make a difference in the world. It's not just the words of your why. It really is the action that you're taking. I believe that purposeful founders in particular feel born to fulfill their purpose, that it's something that we can't not do. For example, I started ShiftCo during a very difficult time in our portfolio's journey. And the last thing that I thought about was I'm going to start another business because I was struggling with a few of the businesses that we had. But it was one of those things that in early 2020, it was the right thing to do and it was the right time. And I couldn't not do it, even though it would be a very hard journey. I also believe purposeful work increases our resiliency and dedication, which is why I've committed myself to working with purposeful founders. And then lastly is purpose is fulfilling no matter what. Now, we happen to believe at ShiftCo that purpose can and should be measured. in as many ways as possible, because that's how you'll increase your impact. So we measure our purpose and we teach our members to do the same so that we can respond accordingly and increase the value to our customers. Purpose can be measured. SchiffGo's purpose is to support the development of conscious founders in building socially and environmentally friendly businesses. When we took the first measure of that purpose, we created a metric that we call MSR, or member success ratio. And that is a function of what percent of our member base is doubling their revenue and thus their impact. 1 year into SchiffGo's journey, 53.4% of our members had doubled their revenue. A year later, in July of 2022, it was 77%. And then today, it's well over 84.9% of the members who are using our programs double their business. Now, we use MSR, or member success ratio, to determine the resources our members need to grow their business. It's an example of our culture. It's an example of our commitment to stakeholders, and it's representative of our commitment to purpose. That we use the metric, which is why I think it is so important to measure purpose. We use the metric to guide our actions as leaders. The metric allows us to see where we're performing well and where we're not performing well. And we evaluate the quality of all of our programs quarterly. We're doing that right now, where we're going to be introducing some new programs to support founders, because we want to see that 84.9%. In the next year, we want that to be closer to 90%. So that's a belief that we have, is that purpose can and should be measured. The other belief that we have, because we see the 4 tenets of conscious capitalism result in value, we believe as conscious founders that value is our strategic advantage. For example, a traditional business, when they start, a traditional founder will say, well, will somebody buy my product? A conscious founder doesn't ask those questions. A conscious founder says, will this product solve a problem? So conscious founders aren't creating a product because it's a good idea or because they think they can exploit a gap in the marketplace. They legitimately look at their business and say, will it solve a problem? The other interesting thing about conscious founders, we work a lot on pricing with our members. Is a traditional business says, what will someone pay for this product? A conscious founder says, how much is it worth? And again, it's that emphasis on value. And last but not least, a traditional business says, how much money can we make? Whereas a conscious founder says, can we make a difference? The measure of our success is certainly profit and growth, but it is also the difference that we make in the world. Now, this conscious founder movement, in addition to having its deep roots in conscious capitalism, this is a movement that is for real. This is from the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor study. They do a study every 1 to 2 years. And one of the interesting things they started measuring pre-COVID was this qualitative measure of, are you starting your business to build great wealth? Or are you starting your business to make a difference? Everywhere where you see blue lines, those are entrepreneurs who said, I started my business to make a difference. And as you can see, the blue lines are pretty high. In fact, in many cases, they're on par with the orange lines, with the exception of a couple of markets. For the last 3 years, from 2021 to now, almost 50% of North American founders said they started their business to make a difference in the world. And I believe, in spite of our political and toxic climate that we're in right now, and the unfortunate things that are happening that seem to be eroding conscious business, I believe there's hope. And I believe the hope is in conscious founders who are starting businesses to make a difference in the world. That's what I think will make the business climate change, is through entrepreneurship and conscious founders. Many other countries are seeing this shift, as you can see in the blue lines. And this is from the well-known Global Entrepreneurship Monitor study that shows this. Why does value matter to conscious founders? We want to use our business as a force for good. Everything that I've done since 2009 has been to try to do good in the world and also make a profit in the process. We are driven to use our business to make the world better. I go to sleep thinking about it. I wake up thinking about it. It drives everything that I do. And we want to use our business to be a vehicle to solve important problems. And I believe that right now, there's never been a better time to be a conscious founder. Well, to increase our value, we have to grow the business. That's how we make a bigger impact. And so that's a little bit about SchiffCo and our commitment to conscious capitalism. We believe that you scale your impact when you focus on adding value, and our impact increases as the business grows. And last but not least, like the roots of the Conscious Leaders Network, we believe in collaboration, and we believe that together we can make the world better. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey.